Hello, I'm Gemma,
And I'm Brett.
and we are an American-British family,
We're living in the USA with our 2 daughters and our 2 dogs.
and we are about to make the big adventure across the pond to move to the UK.
So we can finally answer the question,
How great is
Britain?
Britain? Okay, if you stuck around after that, then you really do need to like and subscribe our video.
That's right. Smash that button, guys. Ring the bell for notifications.
Okay, cheers to that.
Absolutely. And also, I want to say cheers to all of the people who tuned into our last video.
That was so fun.
Shocked that that it got the response that it did, and more than us just hitting refresh on it constantly to see. But
YouTube's too smart for that.
Yeah, no, but we're just really grateful for
the
outpouring of just sort of support and the positive comments, and quite frankly, to get comments from people who we don't know was awesome. So thank you, and if you're back after that, thank you for watching again.
Thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah, and if you're brand new to the channel, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, welcome. And it's really fun too, because it actually sparks conversations outside of us making videos for you to watch. And that's really a big kind of motivator for us for why we're even doing this. We want to start a conversation. We want to help how we can. And we'll get into more of that later. But yeah, we're just really grateful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, people.
There you go. I hope you've got a cup of tea or a nice drink or coffee, whatever it is you're drinking.
Today we are talking about the passport process that we went through to
how are we doing this? How are we moving our family from here to there?
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, and this is why we wanted to start this channel. Certainly when we get to England, we want to document all of the stuff that happens there, but I think a lot of things have been happening that people around us don't really know about, because we don't really talk about it.
We don't get to talk about it, I think, unless you go through something similar to what we're about to talk about. Then I guess it's not really on your radar. But if you are going through what we're about to talk about, it's definitely on your radar, and it can feel a little isolating.
Yeah.
Just to give a bit of context, I'm obviously, I've held on to this accent for over 20 years. It's morphed and changed, but you can still tell, hopefully, that I'm British.
Yeah.
And Brett is.
I am an American, if you can tell from everything about me.
Your mug.
My mug. I was not born in Colorado. I was born in Nebraska, so about as center of the country as you can get. But I'm. And
we found each other.
Yeah,
we did, in New York City.
In New York.
Which there's so much to talk about. Maybe this channel has just given us an excuse to talk about everything we don't get to talk about.
Yeah.
Which I guess it is. But that's where are we going with that?
I was just saying that this is what we're here to talk about today is just a small little slice of the
how we can do it.
Of sort of the process that we've been going through in order to prepare for the move. And it's not just, sell the house and pack up your stuff and ship it off.
If only.
I know. But there's a lot of stuff, that you have to do sort of ahead of time and really anticipate timelines and, what the government is going to think or say.
Potential opportunity.
Yeah.
It's trying to predict the future.
Right.
Which, how does that ever work out? We should mention, we are obviously in a different room than the first video and the second video. And now we're in our living room, TV room. But we decided, because we are moving from this house, we want to try and film in every space of the house.
Right. So every video that comes out, every subsequent video while we're here is going to be in a different room. So
I'm trying to convince Brett to do one of them from our bathroom.
No convincing needed. I'm there.
You're there?
Yeah.
You've moved in?
Yeah.
You ready for the acoustics?
As long as I can convince you to do it on the toilet.
No way.
It's a nice toilet.
Oh my gosh, I spent our entire relationship trying to hide any sort of natural functions. Having children, that goes out the window.
Yeah.
But how are we doing this? I think we even get asked by people that know us really well.
Mm-hmm.
They often the preconceived notion of, me being born in England, Brett being born in America, is that when you get married, you can just live wherever you want.
But going through that, a lot of people, you think, because you see it on TV, you see it on movies, it's just like, get married and she'll be fine, or like you guys, you can just and while it is a sort of more direct path towards that, There's still a lot of obstacles, and there's still a lot of things that you kind of have to
Financial commitment.
yeah, financial commitments. You got to prove a lot of stuff. Still, it can get pretty invasive. Gets really personal. But
Yeah, it does.
so the point is the idea that some of these things are just sort of like very straightforward A to B stuff is not quite accurate. So
Yeah.
and so obviously, so today we are talking about the passports for our daughters and the process of sort of like, what is that like?
How are they dual citizens?
Ups-
How are they recognized in
yeah.
both the US and the UK?
Why do they get what they get?
And I'm glad you said why, because we do need to say we are not lawyers.
Right.
You know, much to my father's disappointment, perhaps,
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
not being a lawyer, but we are not lawyers. We are just simply two people who happen to be born in different places and just had to fall in love, discovering and figuring all of this out in the most cost-effective manner. And so we want to share our process just on the off chance it could help you.
Yeah. But in no way is this legal advice.
No. We're like, no way.
The first thing is just to answer the question, like, how does that fall? How do they fall into, what category do they fall into? Because you are from England and I'm not, but they actually get their citizenship because of descent, right?
From the moment our children were born, they are British because I am British, which is so cool. There was a law passed, it's the British Nationality Act. Again, double check everything that I'm saying, but it's from 1981. And I think it went into effect in 83, I believe,
Yeah.
that it recognized children born from their British mothers. Like you could pass it on when you were a mother, because I think prior to that, I think it was just if the fathers could just pass it on, but now it's parents. So because they were born, I'm their mum, and they were born from me, they are British, and they were born in the US, so they would naturally be US citizens, and their father is obviously American, so they were automatically American. But how cool is it that they weren't born in the UK, and because of specific circumstances pertaining to me, they were able to get British by descent.
Yeah.
Or be British by descent, and I am British by otherwise by descent. There's a lot of jargon that I was like, what
I was going to say there's
mean?
a lot, I think, of categorization. Obviously, this is the one that sort of like
pertains to us. Gov.uk is a fantastic resource. I'm going to put all of these in is it called the caption or the description?
Yeah. But for us, yeah, it came through you. And so we were really excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was sort of deciding, and we started doing research. We started looking into what other people were sort of doing.
We.
Well, I was being told about it afterwards. But you were looking into it, and then and sort of found that a lot of people were kind of going the citizenship route.
Yeah. So because the girls were born in the US, naturally you would think, oh, we've got to register them as a UK citizen, which is definitely an option. But what I discovered, our girls, being British, are entitled to a British passport. So how do I get them their passport? And let me tell you, to register them as a UK citizen, I think it was over £1,200, which is close to $1,700 currently.
Yeah.
Their passports, I think, were £70, which is around $96. And the courier fee to get them sent to the US was around £20, so which is about $36. So if you do that math quickly, it's around $130.
A lot better than
close to $1,700.
Yeah.
$130 each. I was like, I know which one I want to do, and apply directly for their passport. So I didn't have to register their citizenship because I was able to prove their nationality using other documents. So
Right.
Now they have their British passports, which proves their British nationality. For me, it was like, okay, how do I prove they were born by descent? I always think like, okay, this officer is going to be sitting there. Let's pretend they're an alien. And how do I, in the most simple terms, show? Well, gov.uk explains it all and how you do it. So it's like a checkbox. Okay, they need this document and this document and this document. And what I had to share was my birth certificate to show that I was born in the UK and I lived there until I was almost 19 years old. I had to show my mother's birth certificate. I couldn't actually locate my father's birth certificate. So I wrote a cover letter saying I couldn't locate it. But again, my mum was able to pass it on to me, but I was also independent as well because I was born there. And they had to have their marriage certificate as well. We had to show our marriage certificate to justify why my name changed. And this is another website that I will share underneath. It's grow.com, I think it is. It's basically the General Registry Office for the UK, and you can order your documents from there. I'll double check it and update it. Incredibly helpful, incredibly cost effective, I think. And yeah, so like Brett said, the registering their citizenship would absolutely prove their British nationality, but I just proved their nationality through the documents requested from the gov.uk website.
Right, based on the rules that the government had already set out.
And saved us a ton of money.
A lot of money.
And which I love to do.
We're not lawyers, and we're not saying that you should follow our advice legally, but
no but
if we've saved you $1,600,
oh, we saved more than that because it was each.
If we
go on, do math real quick. 3,200.
If we've saved you $3,200,
I guess it would be around 2,900. I think with the getting the official documents and stuff. We're just sharing our process to see if you want to go and look into it and see if it can help you.
Yeah, I think that's worth a smash and subscribe.
I like and subscribe. Smash the what do you say?
Smash that like button.
We're new to this. Bear with us.
That's what everybody says. Every YouTube video I watch, they're always like, smash that like button.
And they're so cool. They're
I don't watch cool people on YouTube.
Oh my God. Basically, I was born in England, otherwise by descent, British, otherwise by descent. I think that's the phrase. My daughters are British by descent. I had to prove that with documents. Government, the gov.uk website helped me out. I use the General Registry Office, which is accessible online as well, to get documents. And then I also want to recommend another website. And again, we're not sponsored or anything. This is just all stuff that helped us. Getmyparcel.com.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Get out a pen and paper and write this down because there's a lot of documents that you got to send off.
Getmyparcel.com was incredible.
It can add up.
Didn't it take like 2 or 3 days to get from our house in Florida all the way to where it needed to go in the UK?
Yeah, they were so quick.
And tracked it.
Yeah.
And they use DHL, but it's cheaper. I don't know why, but
for some reason, if you go straight to the DHL website and
I think it was
use
around $100.
It's way more expensive. But if you use,
we discovered anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe we're missing something, but Get My Parcel.
What we're not missing is a bunch of money that we saved by using this Get My Parcel.
Well, we're only sharing the beginning of the journey. We are definitely missing a bit of money with this whole process.
Yeah, but not because of that.
Okay. I'll give you that.
But no, they were quick and it tracked, and we would get a notification like 2 days later that it had arrived, and it was like, wow, it was amazing. Because I think there was even a few times where like one time where they were missing something or they needed something else, and so it was just sort of like it kind of seemed like, oh, we got to send this, but it was just like we had it to him almost the next day.
Not the next day.
Almost, I said.
Probably felt like that to him because he just had to hear about it.
I don't.
But no.
I was not part of any of this.
He was emotional support. I think we spent around $35 to send these really important documents, and they send it back. The UK office where we send them, they send them back, which is really, I think they're tracked as well. So you get your documents back because some of them have to be the official ones. It can't be photocopies. So that's really cool that you get them back.
Yeah.
Obviously you get them back, but it's really cool that I had the peace of mind that I was getting them back.
Right.
And you had the peace of mind from my peace of mind that we were getting them back.
I was glad to hear after they returned that we got something back. And I was like, oh, okay, neat. And
I looked up how old our girls were when we took their passport photos.
Yeah.
Pippa actually ended up getting her British passport after Quinn. So Quinn had her British passport. Quinn is our youngest at like 3 months old. And Pippa was almost 3 when she got hers.
Yeah, I don't know if you can actually Google this, but if you've never seen a baby's passport photo, it is the cutest thing that you can imagine.
And British rules, if I'm feeling brave, I'll share my passport photo, but British rules for taking your photograph is not the most flattering thing.
No.
American is probably what you're envisioning in your mind an American passport photo to be. It is that. Okay? It's like very happy. You can be happy, right?
I think you're allowed to
smile with teeth.
Somewhat smile.
Can you?
I don't think you can show teeth.
I don't know, because my British one, my gosh.
I think they want you to be as neutral, but it's like a
but
driver's
American
license.
Neutral.
Yeah.
British neutral.
It's very
I have
British.
an RBF anyway, but oh my gosh, I felt like I look at that photo, and I was so postpartum as well. I think when I took mine, I was really early postpartum, and I felt like it aged me. Look, I just sent it off. But luckily when it comes back and it's in the passport, it's kind of like a little disguise.
Yeah.
Because it was very humbling. Quinn's, however, she was 2 months old when we took her passport photo. So cute.
Yeah.
The same rules for adults and the UK passports do not apply to children.
Well,
they still have some rules, but not the same.
Yeah.
So cute.
Very cute.
Poor Pippa.
Very recommended. But
had to try and stay still, and she did it.
Yeah. But we did that ourselves too.
Oh, we did, yes.
So you can go, I know you can go to Walgreens or CVS or,
because British passport photos are different than American.
Yeah,
and
they're different sizes.
What's really cool about when you apply online for your British passport, you upload the photo they'll give you rules that you've got to follow, and then you upload your photo and it will adjust it for you free. Right. I guess it's included in the cost, but
yeah, it sort of scans it and tells you like, yeah, this will
get
probably
approved.
Work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really helpful.
Yeah. So
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we did it in our study, and we just
You were definitely a part of that.
I was definitely a part of that, guys.
Yeah.
That's why I'm talking so much right now. No, but we took it on our phones and
save money.
And then you run it through this little scanner thing that the government provides you, and it sort of says, yeah, this looks great, and then we printed it. And
no, we didn't print it. You just submit it all online.
Oh, I'm thinking of the American one. We printed the.
He took it. He definitely took it. But then it came back to me.
Pippa's American passport.
Her American passport, yeah, because we had to go in person for that.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole list for your British passport that someone has to authorize it. And a dear family friend authorized ours, but they have to have a certain profession and everything. But yeah, I mean, we applied for it from the US. Really convenient. Really just very self-explanatory. It can get a bit redundant when you're dealing with all the paperwork and everything, but I couldn't sit here and say that it's complicated. It's just you got to go step by step. But that gov.uk website is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was only a matter of a couple of weeks, and we ran into a couple of snafus on something, and I was able to email someone, and they would often get back to me. What would you say, within 30 minutes?
Yeah, they were really good,
and I could go back and forth with them. Really, really good.
It was quite a different, I think, experience. I think in general,
the US is so big.
Going through the process of any sort of customer service has been sort of generally much different dealing with British customer service versus like an American style.
I always say that because the UK is so old that we've like gone through our learning curve. You know what I mean? How old is this country? According, from 250 years old or something?
Yeah, more than that now. I couldn't add 16 and 16, so now you're asking me to do math.
A little bit older. But I just feel the procedures and processes are so established. That's my justification for it, that they're like, okay, this works for us. We're sticking with this. And they stick to it.
Right.
To a T. And yeah, that we did it all the way from here. I mean, our daughters, like I said, you want to know the timeline we took? I feel like Quinn, the turnaround was like around 4 weeks for Quinn.
Yeah, they came pretty quick.
Pippa's was a bit longer because we ran into something with a document that they needed, so we sent that off. But again, I was in touch with somebody. It was here. I'm just saying, if you're going to go through the process and you're like putting it off, don't put it off. You can do it.
Yeah.
That gov.uk, I've said it a million times. I'll say it a million more. Fantastic resource. You have to go through that anyway.
And it's important because you need to, if you're making the move and you have the opportunity to do it, or else you have to go through, the the whole process that I'm going through, which is, you know, getting the visa and stuff. But
Future video.
yeah, but it's, you know, it's obviously now it's something that those girls are going to have for the rest of their life, and they can use it to travel and do whatever it is that they want to do.
They will. I mean, they'll have to change their passport. I learned this, that the children's passport, same as the US, you have to replace after 5 years. So.
Well, that's because the American passport, Pippa, she was 3 weeks old.
3 weeks old.
And
she's still using it.
And she's still using it.
Over 3.
She looks nothing like the little tiny newborn that she is in her little American passport. But and we knew that at the time. We're like, there's no way she's going to look like this next week. But
Quinn could have used her picture, to be honest.
Yeah. But yeah, we're super excited now, and obviously that makes our journey a lot easier. I think I mentioned
Quinn couldn't have used the photo, just for clarification. It was a joke.
We're not lawyers.
We're not lawyers.
Don't do what we say.
Don't. Just take it with a grain of salt and look into it.
This is our experience. I just touched my mic. This is our experience. But it's but it is, I think I said this last week, but it's like, but because of this, and because we took advantage of the, you know, what was available to us.
You get into the fun bit. Why it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes our journey a lot easier, because now 3 of you can literally just go.
I mean,
come and go as you please.
I can't explain that feeling as well. Obviously, I love the US. I've chosen to live here. I fell in love with my American. My girls are born here. Our dogs are from here, our rescue dogs. I became a US citizen. Like, I love this country, but there's something that I felt when those girls received their passports that I'm like, oh, they're mine too.
Yeah.
You know, I may have carried them and all of that, and of course, but you know, they weren't born where I was born, and for them to hold their British passports is something I'm really proud of.
Well, and it was that, you know, as we sort of hinted at before, like, we went through the process to get your citizenship, and that involved a lot of visas first, and a lot of, like, you know, the green card like, it was
if you want to hear about it, let us know.
A long process. And so and that was something that you achieved.
Context, I got my citizenship in 2023, so it really was a long process.
Not that long ago. It was a long process.
I held Pippa as I did all of that.
Yeah. But to, you know, and I'm going now the other way, and through that visa process, just the beginning of that journey. But for them to have it literally sort of just like from day one.
So young, yeah.
Or how do they say it in England? From day dot.
Is it day dot?
Is that what they say?
You listen to more British podcasts.
Is that what? Well, you say that.
From day dot.
So maybe you're just making it up.
Day dot.
Yeah.
Do I really?
Yeah. But
learn something new. I'm learning.
So, but
I should watch these videos.
But they have it. You know, they have it from the very beginning, and you know, will it probably be something that they kind of take for granted? Maybe.
Good.
You know? But good. That's exactly
I'll tell them
the
my
point.
Struggles, and Daddy can tell his struggles. Go the other way.
But you know, they just they'll never know any different. I think that's the most exciting part.
What a
for
gift!
Us. Yeah.
I know what a gift it was, because I know I didn't just have that, and Brett's now experiencing it. I mean, every day you're checking to see if you've gotten your visa, and it's so interesting for me to be on this side, because Brett used to reassure me so easily. I'm like, how are you? Like, how? And he's checking every day. I've never seen you so like strict on checking something.
Yeah. Well, you know, again, it's just another part of our journey that we need to take care of, and hopefully we will talk about it at some point. But it's but right now, he was
like, I don't want to talk about it until it's all squared away.
No, but the girls are, and you know, it's a really nice feeling to know that they can just head over whenever
and be part of it. Like, they're just part of it. And my dad goes, of course, Jem, they're British. And like, just saying to somebody, you know, that just seems so obvious, right? And it may do to you too, unless you're going through it and you're like, we totally get how you guys are feeling. It's just not that obvious all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not born in the country you want to live in. But for our girls, it's just, it's really cool. It really makes this move more affordable, because it's just Brett now that needs a visa. The dogs, even, they're almost a little easier than you. That's a whole other video as well, about taking our dogs internationally and how we're doing that.
Yeah.
But definitely 3 of us having British passports have made this journey more affordable and a lot simpler.
Yeah, so we're excited.
Yeah.
We're
Oh,
what?
the passport's changed color. I think when I got my new one, I was like, it's not burgundy anymore.
I think post-Brexit they went back to what it used to be.
Really?
Yeah.
See, you know so much. Your British podcast.
I've known it from day dot, baby.
Day dot, baby. So
they're black, right?
No, navy blue.
I thought they were black.
Are they black?
Yeah.
I just thought it was the same as my
Americans
American
are
navy
very
blue.
navy blue, but
Yeah, I think they are, unless I'm wrong. We'll double check, and then we'll say what it is in writing, in text. Vote. Which one do you think it is? Do you think the British
there's a definite
passport
answer.
is black or navy?
Don't
Google it.
It's not.
Guess first, and then at the end of this video, I will put what color they are in text.
Okay.
You're saying black?
I think they're black.
I think they're navy blue.
Okay.
We're going to find out.
Well,
but I thought I was going to have a burgundy passport and navy blue, and they go so well together.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess 2 navies go together well.
Black and blue as well. It's a bruise. So
that's our video for today.
Yeah, we're plowing ahead. We're still in the process.
Yeah.
But we're really excited that we're getting these certain segments done.
Yes.
And of course we pose the question in the name of our channel, and we want to be able to answer that for every video. So how great is
dual citizenship
for our girls?
My verdict or your verdict or together? Say it at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty great.
Pretty great. I was going to say pretty great.
Yeah.
And I hesitated.
I shouldn't have hesitated.
Oh.
Group mind.
Okay.
Pretty great.
There we go. You say pretty great.
Pretty great.
Pretty great.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.